in his 80s smoking a big bomber every day, right? You will be shocked at how many people who gave us beautiful cutting-edge music or technology. Stephen Jobs, he's a pothead. He gave us the iPhone, the iPod, the Mac computer. Bill Gates was a stoner when he developed the Microsoft operating system. Don't let any teacher or parent or anyone ever tell you that you'll never amount to anything if you smoke pot. In fact, the only people who ever amount to anything are the people who smoke pot. They're the only people who changed the world. They're the only people who changed the way we look at the world. That's because pot, when you smoke it, changes the way you look at the world. You know what? No one can invent anything in a conformist society. If you look at China, China makes a lot of things really cheap, but no one invents anything in China in the last century because a conformist society cannot produce invention. Only free societies, where the mind is encouraged to expand, can we produce great things of genius. That's why most of the things in the last 50 years that we celebrate as beautiful, from music to architecture to science, like Carl Sagan, pothead, to people like Ted Turner or Moses Naimer gave us cutting-edge television, or Mike Wallace, cutting-edge journalism, and this sort of thing. Potheads gave us the beautiful things that we have in the world today, and yet we're hunted down like animals. It doesn't make any sense unless the reason we're hunted down is so we can suffer. Then it makes sense. If you the conservative government thinks you have a moral failing because you believe in marijuana. The government thinks you have a moral failing because they don't trust that you're not a Christian, that you're not worshiping your Bible regularly. They don't trust that you're raising your kids. They don't trust that you're not homosexual. They don't trust that you're not opening your mind through psychedelicization. They don't trust anybody like that. They only trust people just like them. Rural, ignorant, backwards, conservative, fundamentalist, religious. After all, if religion were true, it'd be called science, history, and reason. The reason it's called religion is because it's false. It's belief. It's fake. It's a storytelling. It's invisible friends. And these things are what the government in power believe in. Whereas we believe in something different. We believe in proof. We believe in being skeptical. We believe all the answers are in one book. We believe that the answers to life are found through experience and age and wisdom, and that happens over a period of time. All the answers are not in one book, and they're certainly not in the Bible. And the people who are in government now, passing Bill C-15, are religious fundamentalists who believe that we have to suffer in a lake of fire, in our lifetime even, and they want to start it good and early. Stephen Harper and his people, he just appointed a guy called Chris Somerville to find a link between schizophrenia and cannabis, and that man is a premillennialist. He believes that Jesus is going to come back in his lifetime and claim all the chosen people, and then the rest of us are going to burn in a lake of fire. I'm not kidding, they believe. That's why they don't care if your health care isn't here in 25 years, because we're not going to be here. That's why they don't care if the environment's wrecked by then, because we're not going to be here. The chosen ones will all be taken back to heaven, and the rest of us are going to be burning in that lake of fire. That's the kind of government we've got. That's what Stephen Harper believes in. He believes in a fundamentalist view of the world that says we have to be punished for our moral failing. Even though when you look at cannabis, cannabis is what? Peaceful, and yet the conservatives are at war in Afghanistan. The conservative fundamentalist religious vision is one of violence, one of hatred, one of persecution. They want us to suffer just like we have soldiers suffering in Afghanistan for no purpose. We have a war on drugs on our own people that achieves no purpose other than the suffering of people like us. The conservative government is dangerous, they're evil. If anything, they're the Antichrist. The conservative government, they pose as being faithful, they pose as being biblical, but of course there's nothing charitable about what they advocate. There's nothing Jesus-like in what they advocate. What they're advocating is hatred, suffering on us, our culture. So you have to get out and tell people what's really at stake. We are a peaceful culture. We believe in nonviolence. We don't believe in any racial barriers. We believe in unity between. When we pass a joint, it can go from a gay person, a straight person, a black person, a dready person, a tattooed person. Everybody is welcome when we're passing a joint. No discrimination in our culture ever. I've never seen it. And we are so nonviolent. You know, in thousands and thousands of bars across this country, every weekend there's violence, there's fights, there's arguments, there's screaming, there's yelling. You know, I've been holding big pot parties like this one for 20 years, and not only have I never seen a violent act at a pot party, I've never even heard a loud argument. Not kidding, I've never heard a loud argument. Because pot people intuitively try and put themselves in other people's shoes. We're the empathetic people. We're trying to think of ideas that bring peace and benevolence to a situation. whether it's the world situation or our own personal situation. That's what pot does. It gives you enlightenment. It opens you to a higher consciousness. That's why we're hunted down like animals everywhere, because we criticize authority. We don't accept these governments. We don't accept these dogmas. Think for yourself, question authority, the man's t-shirt says, and that's what we do. And that's why, absolutely fight the goddamn power. Right. Fight the power and make sure you do your part. Because if you grow marijuana, I know you have to hide, you can't get too public, can't get out in demonstrations. Make sure you give money to people who are doing those things, that are going to court, that are leading those rallies. I want the growers to get out and help out. I know, sure, in a legal environment, you'll probably make a little less, but you'll smoke a lot more. And you'll be a lot happier, growing it out in the gardens with 18-foot tall plants in greenhouses. That's going to be an awesome time. The time when it's all legal, we can have 25 different types of weed in our house and share it with our friends. That's the good times, people. We can all find jobs in British Columbia. We don't need to grow weed for big money. We can grow weed just because we love it. I know that's a revolutionary thought to some people who've been making a living, but boy, gardening like that will be in big demand because, you know, 170 people around the world smoke marijuana. That is a fantastic consumption rate. There aren't many things on this planet that 170 million people will get out loud. Thank you for coming to this rally on my behalf.